I broke my back.
What do you mean by that? Your
back is broken.
What do you mean, calm it down? It's a fight. Referees telling two fighters who want to fight to calm it down? He should calm down.
I saw he's like a clown in his show, man. He's not your guy.
Because Tyson Fury's back, and all you motherfuckers are under attack.
Look, Eddie Hearn can say all what he likes. Who gives a shit what Eddie Hearn says? It's garbage.
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking something?
Can you let me retire and be happy? Please? Just please.
Bombs away from the Bronx Bomber!
Wanda! Let's go, baby! Let's go! I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You're not shit.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
I got dropped, man.
No, you didn't.
No, you won the fight.
OMG. I am so excited.
Any of you radio personalities think you want smoke? Call me Mr. Chimney. I want smoke.
Yes. What is up, MCR family? Another live fight chat edition of the show. Errol Spence, Shawn Porter live on Fox pay-per-view. Both guys are in the ring right now. Errol Spence just got into the ring for making his ring entrance and walkout. I am Matt, the Hipster Hunter. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe, patreon.com/Mixed Combat Radio. But of course, as usual, on these live fight chat editions, I'm joined by the one and only Mr. Fugatti. Fu, how are you, man, on this fine evening?
I'm good. What's up, MCR? Are you ready for this knockout from this Texas Thunder? Spence, bringing it.
You know, when you did the Thunder right there, reminded me of Thunder Lips and Hulk Hogan in one of the Rocky movies. Which Rocky is that? Is that like Rocky 3 or something like that?
I don't remember.
I think it's Rocky 3. I think it's the one with Clubber Lang. But digressing, Thunder, that was definitely Thunder Lips over there. Thank you, Fu. But
I like this outfit. I like his what he's rocking, the snake skin.
Spence?
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, I'll be honest. I really largely don't care about that stuff. But I will say this. Let's get our really quick final predictions before the fight starts. Fu, you sort of hinted at it. What's your final prediction before the fight starts? Literally about to.
TKO, 6 to 8 rounds. Spence.
Why do you think Spence is able to get the finish and other guys aren't?
I just think Porter is very aggressive and Spence has the power to end this fight and the precision punching. He's a very precise puncher, so I think that he'll catch him at some point when Porter's kind of leaves himself open.
I think he's definitely going to catch him at some point in time and hurt him, but I highly disagree with you. I think Porter is going to survive it, make a decision, and lose that decision, though, to Errol Spence. I think Shawn Porter has shown that he can probably face the toughest guys in the division and make it their toughest fight. I will say this, though, before we get into this fight. This is the thing to look at going forward, ladies and gentlemen, heading into this fight as we're about to start. If Errol Spence definitively and I should say decisively beats Shawn Porter, whether by wide margin decision or via KO TKO like Fu predicts, that clearly shows Spence is far and away separate from the pack at PBC. You know, the Porters, Garcias, Thurmans, Pacquiao's. He would be clearly separate from them, in my opinion, in terms of talent and potential right now. However, if he doesn't, let's say if he just wins a competitive, close fight, then I think he is far closer to that pack than previously thought. But however, that doesn't matter right now because we don't know. It's Schrodinger's cat right now. This fight has not happened yet, and I cannot wait for it to happen. This is easily one of the best fights of the year. It's right alongside Jacobs, Canelo, Pacquiao, Thurman, Ruiz, Joshua. It's right alongside some of the best fights that have been made thus far this year. Heading forward, fights like Vajic, Beterbiev, for example. But this fight to me is a clear favorite. Spence should win this one. However, I think everyone should at least be in some consensus here that this should be Spence's toughest fight to date. Even if he does get the finish, I think on paper it is very hard to predict that one scenario of Spence dominating Porter because I don't know if he's done that quite yet in his career for me to go, yes, he is the guy to be completely separate from the pack in that degree where he can finish these guys and dominate them. But, however, both guys are getting the final instructions in the ring as we speak. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe, patreon.com/Mixed Combat Radio. I'm Matt, the Hipster Hunter. Find me at Matt Hunter, MCR, all platforms. And that's Fugatti. Find him, Fugatti, MCR, all platforms, as we're about to kick this thing off. And Smasher saying, where's Rob? I mean, he's sleeping, guys. You know this. He's an old man. He turned 40, guys, last week. You know, you can't hang with us, young
Ebenezer can't be here right now.
And he got knocked out by Daniel Dubois, so that's why he can't be here, to be honest. Anyways, guys, fight is, come on, about to start. Everyone's getting out. Both guys are jumping around. Ref's about to give them the go-ahead. Errol Spence has the same boxing gloves I do. Let's start round one. Those are good gloves, by the way. I like them. Spence already trying to be the aggressor, pressing forward. That was the one other thing I wanted to make mention of before this fight really started going, was that game plan switch. He has been on the record saying that he wanted to box with Mikey Garcia and show that he could box. Is that true, or was a lightweight able to push Spence back? That's a question mark. He said going in this fight, he's going to switch it up and press Porter and look for the finish numerous times. Let's see if he does that. Let's see if he switches it up a la more like a Lamont Peterson, Chris Algieri sort of fight. And if he does, and it's noticeable, that switch, then we can really credit that game plan for the Mikey fight more so, right? Instead of the, oh, Mikey was able to push him and he was lightweight narrative.
Yeah, I think boxers allow people to get in their heads. Boxers are very sensitive. And when people said that Mikey was a better boxer than Spence, that really got to him. And I think that he did fight differently than he would have had that not been in his head.
About a minute and a half into the round so far, about 1 minute, 43 seconds. A lot of feeling out right now, a lot of feints, a lot of movement from Porter. Porter tried to throw in a combination right there, kind of smothered his work. Not surprising. Both guys exchange on the inside there. Good work. Tying up, though. It's clear,
Spence
I think.
Control in the middle of the ring, though.
It's clear at this point in time, I think both guys want to feel out who's stronger on the inside. Because they're going to the Clinton trying to leverage each other with underhooks instantly. You can tell. They're trying to get that gauge. Ooh, left. Actually, right hook from Spence misses. Porter coming in and trying to maul Errol Spence. Errol Spence landing a good shot to the body. This fight's going to get really interesting rather fast, in my opinion, because already they're opening up a little bit. And already Porter's opening up with combinations. That, to me, is going to be the big indicator of how this fight looks, is if we see that classic mauling Porter-style combination work, and how does Spence adjust to that? Because you have to adjust to that. Even people want to discredit it and say it's crude or whatever, it is still effective in what it does, what the strategic goal is, to smother your opponent.
Yeah, if Spence can't use Porter's aggression against him, then he's going to really struggle, I think, at times.
Yes.
He's going to have to use that as a way to get Porter to open up and get counter punches off, and he is going to have to fight off his back foot, like we said in our show up to this fight. So, not something he's really shown in any fight to this point, really. So,
round is about to wrap up. I would probably give that 10-9 to Shawn Porter. Brief note: Fu is a little bit behind me, so I know Santiago trying to keep score. Fu is probably going to be giving that score a little bit late, just to keep you updated. Sorry about that. And please do keep
I'm
score.
about 45 seconds or so behind.
Because I do think, guys, we're going to need to sort of have our scorecards ready for this one, unfortunately, right? But 10-9 round for Shawn Porter, in my opinion. I thought he just did more work. He landed more combinations. Spence was a little more ineffective with his shots, was missing shots. And I think Porter had more of an effect in terms of what he wanted to do with his game plan.
Yeah. In this first round, you can see that the big thing for Spence mentally is not to get frustrated when he starts to get combinations going and Porter just charges forward and, like head first and kind of clinches him up. So Spence is a fairly young guy, so we'll see how mentally tough he is through all of that.
And there's one thing to note, though, is that of all people to be like young and still actually pretty experienced for being a young fighter in Errol Spence, clearly one of the more composed guys in the ring of his generation. Second round starting 2 minutes and 52 seconds for those that want to sync up with us. Right hand from Shawn Porter.
It's crazy how big Shawn Porter is for 147.
I mean, he did fight Usyk in the amateurs.
Yeah. A big dude.
Big dude. Ooh, good combination from Shawn Porter there. Was inside the combination of Errol Spence and caught him slipping. Jabs from Errol Spence. Misses. Oh, good left hand counter on the inside there from Errol Spence. Should have followed up with maybe a right hook after it.
I'm so far behind that Spence just got off his stool.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's all good though, guys. Don't worry. I'll come in late with some feedback.
Yes, big picture ideas.
I really like how Spence, how Porter shaved his chest hair to look like a triangle or something. I don't know what he did there. Why he did that.
I think you're focusing way too much on something else there, Phil. You get back to the fighting there.
He's like, this will look cool.
Right hand from Shawn Porter. Spence doing a good job of evading some of these shots, though. Lands a good shot to the body, but gets off balance. Really interesting dynamic in terms of whoever. I mean, both guys. Ooh, great right hook as Porter was coming in from Spence. Lands right on the jaw. Porter, though,
he had a really good check left there about the 220 mark
check
as well.
Right. Be a check right.
Check right, sorry. Well, so no, it was just a left hook, sorry.
Ooh,
good left hook as he was stepping in about 220.
Good combinations here from Errol Spence. Spence is getting the range down a little better this round, it's clear.
I was telling you, I don't think this is going to be as competitive as you thought it was going to be.
I think it's competitive right now.
Well, I'm just saying that we're 2 rounds in, but Spence is already starting to find his range, and his counter punching is.
You
really
thought Benavidez Darrell wasn't going to be competitive. We're going to get to that one later on, but that was way more competitive than previously thought.
Benavidez wasn't really in trying to focus in that fight.
Yeah, he ate the punches like Triple G too.
Well, yeah, he has that Triple G like Terminator like.
Oh my god!
Just stalking forward shit.
Stop. Spence doing a good job of just landing shots inside combinations now of Shawn Porter. Whoever's throwing the more compact shots is usually getting the better of these exchanges, honestly. Both guys landing good shots there to end the second round. 10-9 round for Errol Spence, in my opinion. Thought he did more work, was clearly far more successful in this round. On top of that, I think he was landing the better shots in this round.
Yeah, definitely.
Left hands were landing to the body and up top. Landed some really good right hooks as well. Much better round for him.
Yeah, I think Porter took the first round with a really good exchange when Spence kind of shelled up on the ropes, but this is a much better round for Spence. That's 2 really clean counters and then some 2 really good spots with counter punching.
It's funny, like both guys, like what was the game back in the day? Beyblade? I remember that shit back in the day, or what was it called? Where like you like spun the shit and it like would go and like hit each other and like bounce around and it was like spinning tops kind of. But you remember what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit. Yeah. That's kind of how this fight is looking right now. Like both guys are doing a lot of moving around, a lot of feinting, and then they just clash in a combination and then separate. And then dance around each other, look for that opening, and then they both sort of clash and jump in together at times. It's really a fun watch.
See, and that's why Spence is going to knock Porter out. That counter right there, and the 6th or 8th round is going to put Porter
Third
down.
round started, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes and 45 seconds for those who want to sync up.
Oh, that was a low blow. Well, that was a good body shot, though. Spence has got like some sneaky good defense, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he obviously showed boxing skill at times against Lamont Peterson and obviously at great lengths against Mikey Garcia.
Yeah.
I think Spence could outbox Porter. That's not an issue. Could he finish
Yep.
Porter? Could he dominate Porter? Those are the questions I think that are more pressing.
Could he shave his chest hair to the Assassin's Creed symbol?
I don't think
Like
Spence
Shawn
has
Porter.
chest hair. And I don't know why we're talking about his chest hair so much here, Fu.
It's like right in my face.
It really isn't. Weirdo.
Are you not like firm in your sexuality here, Matt?
No,
What's going on
I'm
here?
trying to watch the fight and you're like, oh, the dude's chest hair. I know every new listener that we have right now is like, oh, turning off because of you. Fu.
Nah. I'm gonna be like,
Good left hand to the body there. Nice left hands from Errol Spence. They want us to talk about the fight, not the dude's chest hair, Fu.
oh, I am talking about the fight.
No, you're not.
Porter
Ooh, some of
tried
these
to
shots
like
are
rough
low.
him up right
Ooh.
there, and he just didn't let it happen. I like that side of Spence.
Spence is doing a great job of ducking under these shots, pivoting out, and creating angles. But Porter is just unrelenting, though, man. He finally is able to press him up against the ropes here and land some combinations.
Yeah.
But Spence was having
Porter
a lot
tried to
of
like
success
grab
there.
his glove, like he'll do. You know, he tried to grab his glove and hold him and catch some shots, and Spence just wasn't having any of that.
Ooh.
I like that. I like when Spence gets that that attitude towards somebody.
Oh, both guys throwing heavy combinations on the inside. Oh,
About to see why they call Spence the truth, Matt.
I mean, this is a dogfight right now. Spence is at times really off balance, and that concerns me. I'll be honest.
He's getting away with some low blows too, quite honestly.
Yeah, he is.
There's been about 4 low blows that he shouldn't have got away with.
Yo, Kelby Ortiz. Oh my God, this is so good. For some weird reason, I stayed after the chest hair comment.
Sorry, guys. I was just wondering if he was, sponsored by Assassin's
No,
Creed.
he's not.
or-
No,
you
he's
know?
not. Okay. Oh my God. Round is over. Both guys landing really hard shots on the inside. And again, the way they're clashing on the inside and then separating is oftentimes, I would say, entertaining and kind of weird. And on top of that, might actually hurt one another. Like whoever is able to capitalize on that off balance disconnect, because every time they disconnect, both guys are kind of off balance.
Yeah.
I think someone's gonna be able to knock someone down because of that. Maybe not with even like a significant shot that hurts someone, but there's too much off balance movement when these guys are clashing. So somebody's gonna catch a shot, catch a hook going the wrong way, and they're gonna go down just from a pure physics standpoint.
That was a really nice right hand by Porter around that.
Porter
20
was landing
second
good
mark.
shots. I think that was 10-9 round. I'm sorry, I didn't get my score for the round. 10-9 round for Errol Spence, but that was a close round, competitive round. And again, it's really a matter of who's landing the more compact combinations. They're getting the better of exchanges. They're more likely to win the round. When Porter's a little more compact with the shots, he is inside Spence's guard and landing shots and vice versa.
The thing that Porter is really allowing Spence to do that's going to hurt later rounds is Spence is just destroying him to the body, and that's gonna come back.
Yeah, Porter does headhunt a little bit too much. But to be honest, Spence is hard to hit to the body. Like the way his body is, like we were talking about this for the Durrell fight, and we're going to sort of circle back on it in the post-fight section of our show when you guys can call in 323-870-4051, press 1 to get in the queue. International caller, Skype, Mix Combat Radio. Ooh, good combination there from Spence. Finishes with a nice left hook and lands. More combinations there from Spence. Porter. And mauling Spence there. Nice job there. But digressing, the way Spence's body is like positioned and how his guard is, you're going to hit elbows a lot with your body blows or your body shots. And you can break your hand so easy doing that. Honestly.
Similar to Canelo, and that's what like kept Triple G from doing body shots, like just keeping those elbows tucked.
You weren't landing them, you're hitting the arm too much. Oh, left hand from Spence. Oh my goodness. Oh,
baby.
Oh, Spence might be hurt. Spence might be hurt a little bit. Porter's going after that body right now. Spence with a good left hand. Good jab by Spence right there. Both guys landing really good shots. This is a good fight.
Let me tell you, this is going to answer a lot of questions about Errol Spence for sure.
Oh! Porter's landing some really good combinations this round. Much better round for Porter.
Yeah, this is a really good round. Really good round for Porter.
Well, you know, another thing, Porter's not smothering his work as much in this round either. He is right in that mid-range, almost enough to where he can clinch up, but he's still in that inside range and closer to the mid-range, and he's throwing combinations. He's just throwing combinations, and he's going to the body, and that's setting up shots up top.
And neither guy backing up. They're just like standing where they're at and trading. And I don't think that's smart for Spence.
No,
I don't think he wants to get into this kind of a fight with Porter.
It's a hard fight to do this type of fight with Porter. Oh, God. Left hand from Spence. Oh, low blow from Spence. God, he's landed a ton of those, to be honest.
Yeah, it's easily 4 to 5 low blows for sure.
This has been a great round. Good right hand by Shawn Porter. Both guys just mauling each other in the clinch. That's going to be the key word of all night, is just mauling each other. Like the inside work of these guys is just... I know people hate Porter's inside work, but I think it is so effective in what he wants to do. It may not be pretty, it may not be clean, but it is 100% effective. And that's
it's effective in the way it mentally breaks an opponent down.
Yes.
Because it pisses you off.
And to be honest, like volume and like pressure like that, you're going to win rounds, like naturally speaking.
And, you know, most of the
round, by the way,
is mental.
10-9 round for Shawn Porter. This is a really good fight. And honestly, a really competitive fight. So when we talked about, before this show started, or before the fight started, I should say, the two avenues this fight could go down and what that means for Spence, right now it's going down one avenue. And that's indicating Spence is more along the lines of he's with the pack at welterweight, with the top 5 or 6 guys. He's more with them. He's not separate, as I think some people want to claim.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think he's getting drawn into the wrong kind of fight.
But then again, Shawn Porter draws. That's what he does. Like, his style is to draw you into his fight. Was it 5th round starting? Yes, 5th round starting 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Those who want to sync up with me. Sorry,
that was great distance control by Spence in that little trade. But
combination from Shawn Porter.
I don't know, man. That's a hard round. But I do think Porter probably had the bigger moments in that round. I'll give it a 10-9.
I mean, come on. If you don't give that round to Shawn Porter, I don't know what you're looking at.
There were some pretty good moments for Spence in that round, too.
Yeah, but there were moments. Porter had consistent... Ooh, bad headbutt there. Ooh. Porter had consistent success throughout that round. That's the key difference.
Absolutely, yeah.
If your moment isn't a knockdown or hurting someone, both guys landing good shots down the inside. Oh. Spence goes flying back to the ropes, and Porter goes chasing after him. These two guys are such great boxers and such great athletes. Like, this is such just great high-level boxing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh. Huge left hand misses from Spence. Wow. Porter just ducks right under that. Spence loaded up with everything he had on that left hand. He thought that was going to be the one right there. Good jab there from Spence.
The head clashes are going to be the thing to
one thing I would
man.
really like from Spence to be throwing more is the jab. He's not really making the jab a key part of his offense right here, and it needs to be. Because it'll keep Porter at his range more than being at Porter's range. Because right now, they're both fighting within Porter's range. Porter going after Spence right now. Spence doing a good job, though, slipping some of these shots.
Spence is really struggling with Porter's aggression right now.
Yeah. I predicted that, though. You didn't. Just want to say that. You biased Texan.
Yep. Texas is the best country in the world.
What's the name for like people from Dallas?
I don't know.
Dallasian? Dallasai?
Racist. No, I'm
Dallasite?
just playing.
Anyways, digressing. Back to the fight. About 25 seconds left in the 5th round. Tough round to score because neither guy really, I would say, being that consistent with their work this round. But Spence doing far better with evading these shots from Porter, getting his offense sort of going back again this round. A little more consistent. I would probably give this round to Errol Spence thus far. Ooh, good
It's
luck.
going to be a really close fight if it goes to the cards. Well,
It is.
depending. I mean, this is like, we're about to be halfway through.
Yep.
But seems like it's going to be pretty close. I mean, I don't think Porter's never gone down easy, right? So,
No. That round's by way of Spence round, 10-9.
yeah. Yeah, I think.
Whoa, Keith Thurman. I have pretty much Shawn winning every round.
Of course you do, Thurman.
But he predicted Spence by KO. So, I mean, it's not like he was like hating on Spence. He was the only one on that panel that said Spence had the potential to knock out Porter like you did.
It's the Mafia.
The Mafias. Call in 323-870-4051. Press 1 to get in the queue. International callers call in on Skype Mixed Combat Radio. We're going to be taking calls right after the show. And honestly, we could take calls during the fight as well. So if you want to call in the middle of rounds, call in. I'll take your call. Give you a little quick 1 minute Steve Farhood, whatever. Harold Letterman, come in here. Give me your thoughts. But until then, we got round 6 now. Spence coming out really aggressive this round already. Ooh. God, Spence is just throwing blow after low blow. God. Oh. Spence doing some really good work here. Porter is pressed up against the ropes and he really can't get away. Oh, Porter got out of it. Nice. And now Porter's attacking Spence. He slipped and ducked under and transitioned where he made Spence's back now along the ropes. Did good work there. But both guys now back to the center of the ring. See if Spence can walk Porter back to the ropes. He was doing good work there. About 2 minutes and 10 seconds for those that want to sync up with us. Shout out to Porter not really complaining so much about these low blows. He probably could and probably should, honestly. Or at the very least, his dad should, his trainer, should be yelling at the ref, hey, what about these low blows? But that's Shawn Porter, man. Throwback.
True professional.
Always, man. Probably one of the easiest people to work with in the sport. God, both guys, when they get on the inside and start going blow for blow, I mean, how do you score this?
I don't know. Shawn's always going to make it hard to score a fight just because of the way his style. It's so hard. Like, you feel like you're not giving him enough credit, so you lean his way a little bit, and then you might be giving him too much credit. I don't know. It's like you got to watch his fights a few times.
These punch stats are all over the place. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
There's no way Spence has landed more shots than Porter. Sorry. I think that's why I hate CompuBox, man.
Whatever gets Texas the win, let's go.
Because they're not counting a lot of these shots from Porter that are partially landing that have an effect. If you don't think some of these shots are affecting Spence when they're partially landing to the body or partially landing through the guard, go strap on some gloves and some headgear and go try it out. Ooh, good right hand from Shawn Porter.
Or just stand up next to your buddy at your fight party and let him take a good shot at you. See what happens.
Put your hand right here and let your buddy punch you and then see what happens. Or better yet, let your buddy head kick you and see if your hand just being right here is enough to block it.
Don't really do that, guys, but
No, please do. Okay.
Film it, put it on,
yes,
Instagram and Twitter and tag us.
We encourage stupid people to continue to be stupid. There's no hope in you. Just continue to live your life.
Porter really, this last minute of this round
what do you score that round? 10-9 Porter. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
10-9.
the scores are going to be all over the place on this fight. It depends on what you like. That's the tough thing about.
But there are some
scoring these
clear
fights.
rounds. I will say that some rounds are closer than others. But
Oh, it was a beautiful left hand by Spence in the last around that 30-second mark.
I don't know. That's a tough round to score.
Yeah, that was a tough round to score.
I'm gonna go 10-9, Shawn Porter. But I can absolutely see anyone scoring that for Spence. Or 10-10. Like that one. It's a great fight. Like I can't even be mad.
10-9 Spence because Texas.
Sure,
That's why.
I don't care. Be biased. Too bad it's not a Lomachenko fight. You'd be scoring every round for Loma.
I never do that. I think I gave Pedraza more rounds than anyone else who scored the fight.
Shut up. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I
Moving
gave him 4
on,
or 5.
Round 7.
Yeah.
2 minutes and 52, 51, 50 seconds for those that want to sync up with us.
Damn, heavyweight Tank showed up to the fight.
And Broner next to him. Do you see that?
Dang.
I like how they kind of like crop out his face, though.
Are they sitting in the same chair?
Of course. I mean, Davis loves to sit on Broner's lap, right?
Yep.
Wasn't there that famous IG video?
God, I'm getting my ass kicked if I ever go to a boxing fucking fight.
No, they don't. They don't know you. Trust me.
Davis gonna run up on me. No, they don't know me. For sure.
Oh God, Porter's throwing really heavy shot to the body right here. And when Spence just like shells up and just decides just to sort of sit there and eat shots, like I don't know what he's doing. Like you can't.
I hate it when fighters do that. It's the worst, man. It's the worst when someone just gets on the rope and shells up. It's like, what's that gonna do for you?
Nothing.
It doesn't do it. I mean, it doesn't. You're not winning any points.
No, you're not doing anything. Move. Throw a jab, something. Check hook. Move. Tie up, something. Don't stand there with the guard up. Even if you're not really eating, like you're not like taking these shots clean, like it just doesn't look good. It's a bad look for the judges.
Yep. It looks like exactly what it is. You're not fighting your fight. You're fighting someone else's. Part of the scoring is based on you being the ring general and controlling the fight.
Good shots by Spence here in the sort of last 30 seconds or so. When Spence is coming forward, he's doing far better. I'll be honest.
Yeah. He just needs, like you said, he needs to start working the jab more, start controlling the distance, fight his fight, switch this whole shit up.
Ooh.
Because I'll tell you, if he goes 12 rounds and looks like this, then there's going to be a lot of talk of him not being the man of the division.
Oh, absolutely. You look just like Keith and Danny, who struggled with Shawn. Nothing, you're again part of the pack. It will definitely help potentially, though, either A, make the Pacquiao fight or make the Crawford fight faster. Like one of those two fights is going to be made faster because of this, though. Like that's the one silver lining in it.
I'd say not the Crawford fight.
No, I think so
fight.
because I think A, this pay-per-view battle it's not going to do as well as some people I think are hoping for. Plus, he hasn't looked that good, so I think his leverage in the negotiation room is diminished going in to a Crawford negotiation post this fight. That's my honest opinion. And then again, Pacquiao might be looking at this and going, "Oh, Spence isn't as good as some people are saying."
Yeah,
I can outbox him.
So Porter's ability to move off of to laterally move out of the ropes and then get it completely turn the fight and get Spence's back against the ropes is like Spence hasn't adjusted to that the entire fight. We're 7 rounds in.
Porter's lateral movement has been one of the most underrated qualities of his game for a very long time. It's something that he has clearly worked on for years and has clearly gotten better at over the years. His
work rate's crazy too.
You go back and watch the Kell Brook fight or the Paulie Malignaggi fight and compare it to Danny Garcia fight. Compare it to this fight. You know, compared to even like the Granados and Ugas fight where he broke his hand in, but he still used a lot of boxing movement. It's clear he has worked on that and tried to implement that into his game.
Yeah. He's got a crazy work rate. He doesn't ever seem to slow down.
No. And, dude, seeing him train in the gym is just insane. Both these guys, like, I don't expect either one to have a slowdown at all in this fight. We're at round 8. Neither guy's slowing down at all.
That was such a low blow, man.
Round 8, 2 minutes and 40 seconds for those that want to sync up with us, by the way. Porter trying to press Spence. Ooh, good right hand. But Spence doing a really good job of evading some of these shots. Good jab from Spence. Another low blow by Spence. Yo, every
Dude,
time
some of them are so low.
Yo, every time he's dropped that left hand in the body, it's been low, I feel like.
Like 3 to 4 inches, like below. Not like a little low.
Oh.
It's like low.
God. Spence lands a nice stiff left hand, but then Porter just eats it, man. Just comes forward. Both guys trading shots right now on the inside. Spence probably getting the better of it. A little more jabs from here from Spence. Come on. Pump that jab out. 1-2s, 1-2-3s. Like, bring it a little more back down to basic and slow down the fight, honestly. Because the more this fight gets chaotic, I feel like the more it slips out of his control and hands.
Absolutely.
And honestly, if you sort of go back, he is one of those guys that does value control more than a lot of things in a fight.
Yeah.
Are you surprised there's been no point deducted or like more like official warnings for Spence via the low blows?
I am very much surprised that there's been no warnings.
I think there's like 1 minute left in round 8. Spence doing a better job this round. Doing a better job of getting the fight at his range. But then again, right now, Porter's on the inside, pressing him. But then Spence is able to get some distance, land some jabs, land some straight shots. Ooh, good right hand there from Porter. Because Porter's able to inch just like close enough to land his combinations. Spence landed some good shots there on the inside. There is that like Goldilocks zone there of distance for Spence in this fight that he can't seem to stay in. And it's a deep struggle for him. It's the same struggle in a sense that like guys like Keith Thurman had with Shawn Porter. Keith Thurman wanted to be a little bit more at distance, and he couldn't. Shawn was on him all day, and that was a huge issue for him.
Well, and that was the big question mark, right? Is how would Spence deal with this aggression? And he's struggled with it. Now, I think
he's winning, but he's clearly struggling with it.
He's doing better in these later rounds.
10-9 round for Spence.
Getting under some of the shots and moving backwards and keeping his balance, because early he was losing his balance.
Yo, how did Porter just eat that left hand? How?
I don't know. Spence just ate a shot too.
Again, I'm in the highlight reel. Round's over for me, dude.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm 30 seconds behind, guys.
Oh, I love you, Foo.
I'm more than 30 seconds behind, probably.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it. It's okay. We still love you.
What's the chat think? I don't have it open.
It's close. Everyone seems to have it close.
Yeah.
Wow. Santiago, this is really sad for you, Santiago. We need to talk about this, bro. Santiago has it 4-4, 3-3, 2 even. I don't know what that really means, Santiago, but it sounds like you have it like a draw. So deal with that. Gary, 5-3 Porter. Actually, people might be having it Porter. Actually, I probably have it right now, Porter up. In terms of
Gary, you're a traitor to Texas.
If I think about how I've been scoring the rounds, I probably have Porter up by a round or two. Ninth round starting 2 minutes and 47, 46, 45 seconds. Marcos Villegas has it tied up on the unofficial scorecard on the Fox telecast as well.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Ooh.
I mean,
Oh, God. Good right hands there from Shawn Porter. Oh. God, good combination there from Shawn Porter again in the inside. You're right. When he is just laterally moving and setting up angles and shots, Spence is having to adjust to it. And he is slow.
and he hasn't.
And he is slow to adjust to it, and therefore there's openings. And Porter's been able to sort of capitalize at moments.
Yeah, Spence is used to just walking his opponent down,
Oh, good lead uppercut there. I think it was a lead uppercut from the angle. It was either lead uppercut or a shovel hook from Shawn Porter. Sent Spence's head back flying. Another good right hand there from Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter's landed some good shots here, some clean shots in this round. Can you imagine if Shawn Porter wins?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. There'll be a rematch, obviously, right?
I don't know if there's a rematch clause. I don't think there is. And the talk has been there hasn't been any talk about a rematch.
That's true.
I don't think there's no rematch clause. Yeah, no.
That's insane.
Well, it's not too big of a deal, though. I'll be honest. They're all in the same umbrella. If they need to make the rematch, they can.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest. Pacquiao, again, is looking at this fight going, could I beat these guys? And Crawford's somewhere. God, I'm shocked I don't have Twitter up right now. And just looking at Crawford's timeline. Because it must be gold, guys. I don't know what it is right now, but it must. Oh, good. Left hand there from Errol Spence. Oh! Both guys landing good shots. Oh, gosh. Both guys on the inside just trading blow for blow.
Yeah, Crawford's talking shit right now.
Oh, he has to. Oh. Shawn Porter, again, his combination work, his pressure, just massive issues for Errol Spence. And on top of that, he's been landing some really good shots this round. Errol Spence, though, he did make it more competitive as the round wore on, but that was a clear 10-9 round, in my opinion, for Shawn Porter. Smash from the chat saying, great fight, 4-4. Some highlight. Ooh, good left hand there from Spence.
I don't even know what I have it scored. These rounds are so hard to score, and I'm so biased towards Spence that
it's okay to be biased.
Yeah, but
at least
round nine.
Hey,
round nine's got to be a Porter round. Though,
it's better to recognize a bias because then we can look at your opinion through that prism, and that's fine. Everyone has biases. I have biases. People listening have biases. That's completely fine. People act like biases is this huge negative thing. It's just a reality. People's opinions and worldviews are shaped by their biases, so you have to adjust for it and add in context for people's opinions through their biases.
Yeah.
And again, not a bad thing, just a reality. Round 10 about to start. Really good fight so far. Oh, both guys going at it already, man. The cardio and pace of both guys in this fight is insane. Think about how much movement they've had, how much just force on force in the clinch they've had, how many shots they've landed, and both guys are still going at it like it's the first round. That's insane.
That's crazy cardio, man.
Oh, both guys. Oh, my gosh. Spence not getting the better of this exchange right now as both guys are just going blow for blow on the inside. Again, Porter's just relentlessness, his aggression, his volume is just such a issue for Errol Spence. And Spence isn't landing those specific shots he needs to land to get the better of these exchanges, to change the momentum of these sort of flurries from Shawn Porter. He's not landing them.
And I love how Porter's just flicking that jab out there. It's just enough to make Spence like have to cover up, have to change how he's
Spence coming after
trying to attack.
Spence coming after Porter right now, as he had him pressed up against the ropes. But then Porter switches out, turns around, presses Spence now. Oh, good combination to the body there from Shawn Porter. Spence trying to fire back. What a fight.
Come on, Spence.
Both guys taking a little breather, just looking at each other right now. Oh, God. Spence lands a great left hand counter on the inside, but Porter just pushes through it and lands an overhand right. Oh, God. Porter's just durability. How dare you think that Spence could have finished him?
Fight's not over yet.
You said round 6 to 8, bro.
Or 10 to 12.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. It's on. God damn
This is
it.
fake news.
Fake news. It's fake news. Back to the fight,
Wrong.
though. Less than 20 seconds in the 10th round remaining. I think Porter getting the better of this round, but it's close. This is a fun, competitive round and a slew of fun, competitive rounds.
Based on CompuBox.
Oh! Porter lands a great right hand. That might have rocked Spence to close out the 10th round. Wow. Whew. What a round. 10-9 round for Shawn Porter. He's going to win this fight, guys. He's going to beat Errol Spence.
Stop lying to yourself.
I can't believe he's going to beat Errol Spence, guys.
You played yourself.
The truth, man down, is about to go down.
Never.
Wow. Guys, I'm just stunned at how this fight's going. Like, you guys know me. Like, I thought this fight was going to be competitive and close, but I thought Spence was going to get the better of these exchanges far more often. I thought he was the cleaner puncher of the two. He was going to be the more effective puncher of the two. I thought his shot accuracy and shot selection was far better than Porter. But, again, that relentlessness, that aggression, that volume, that can cancel out you being a better boxer 9 out of 10 times. Because you can't get your boxing going. You just can't. You don't have the room. You don't have the time.
Spence hasn't made the adjustments he's needed. When Porter tries to use his lateral movement to swing around him when he's coming off the ropes, Spence needs to step in front of him and
Side
keep
step,
him from
cut him off.
coming around. Yeah.
Yep.
But he's not made any adjustments. He's allowed it to happen every single time, and then he gets caught up against the rope, shells up, and then starts to lose the round. Lose the momentum.
11, 2 minutes, 15 seconds left in the round for those who want to sync up with us. Some in the chat saying Thurman did much better than Spence against Porter. I think that's clear at this point in time. But I will say this. I also think Porter's gotten better as a boxer since then.
Well,
I
and
think that's something
Thurman's
that
movement's way better than Spence's. Let's be real.
Agreed.
Thurman's one of the best movers at 147.
Agreed. Oh, God. Porter trying to throw everything he has, but Spence landing some good shots inside the combination of Shawn Porter there. Another close round thus far. I hate scoring these fights, man.
Absolutely. The worst. That 10th round was really tough. I'll give it to Spence, though. I think he had the more, from what I saw, the more effective. I hate being so far behind because I'm so swayed by what you're saying, but.
Oh, good right hand there from Errol Spence, but Shawn Porter has been going at him. It's like Shawn Porter threw probably 10 punches right there, but Errol Spence lands that one left hand out of the 10, and it was the better shot probably. How do you score that?
See, Shawn spins him again right there around that 2-minute mark.
Oh! Shawn down. Wow. Left hand. I think it was a left hand or a right hook. I need to see it again. Catches Shawn Porter mid combination. Shawn, obviously dazed, drops down, bends his knee, and his glove touches the mat. Fight is resumed. Spence is coming at Shawn Porter now. That is a fight-changing knockdown there, ladies and gentlemen. Automatic 10-8 round, probably for a lot of people. But Porter's coming at Spence. Oh, my gosh. The warrior, the dog in Shawn Porter right now. Holy shit. He got rocked with that shot, and he is coming right at Errol Spence with everything he has.
You definitely see Spence's counter punching.
Oh, good right hands there from
Was a
Shawn
little
Porter.
more on point right here. I want to see the knockdown, though. I'm not there yet, unfortunately.
Wow.
Let's go, baby. Nice. That was a nice left hook.
Wow. Round is over. 10-8 round for Errol Spence. Again, potentially fight changing. Wow, I'm shocked. Then we're going to the last round, right? Are
we? Yeah. Here we go.
That left hook mid punch of Shawn Porter knocking down Shawn Porter. Just fantastic shot by Errol Spence. Is it enough, though? Is it too late?
That's the stuff I thought would happen earlier, but Shawn's fought a great fight.
Yeah, he has.
I mean,
his mixture of lateral movement and just feinting, because that's the thing that I want to keep emphasizing, is the feints of Shawn Porter, combined with the volume, relentlessness, the aggression. It's a hard combination to deal with. It really is. Not a lot of guys have that.
And I think Spence messed up with the Mikey fight too, because I think some of what makes you so scary in boxing is like the unknown. And when Mikey goes 12 rounds with you,
you're a little
people
more
go, maybe he's not that guy. Maybe he's not the boogeyman.
Last and final round, ladies and gentlemen, starting. Wow. Great fight so far.
That is a replay for any young person boxing. That counter left hook was just
good right hand there by Shawn Porter.
Perfect timing.
Oh. Both guys, I think are going for the finish here.
Good for them. This is a great fight. This is absolutely.
Errol Spence is definitely going for the finish. He might be concerned about the scorecards more so than Shawn Porter, to be honest.
Well, good for his corner if they say that.
I don't have audio, but it seemed like Spence is on the gas here, and Shawn's trying to adjust to it right now.
Because it'd be a damn shame for one of these corners to be like, "You got this on the cards."
Good jabs here from Spence, setting up these combinations. Why weren't you throwing the jab more often?
Come on, let's go, Spence.
Marcus Villegas has Spence up 106-102 right now on his scorecard.
Make some noise for Texas, chat. Let's go.
Oh, gosh. Shawn Porter landing some good hooks. Oh, snapping Errol Spence's head back.
We defeated Santa Ana, and we will defeat Porter as well. Let's go.
Gary's so hyped when you said that. Oh, God. Errol Spence. Combination. It must have been a 10-punch combination on Shawn Porter as he was backed up against the ropes. But Shawn Porter spins out. Reassess the distance of the fight. And they're back in the middle. Spence, though, is coming after him. A minute left. Oh! Right hand from Shawn Porter.
Damn, what a tough fight. What a tough fight to judge.
Spence is clearly trying to press this fight, and I think Shawn is maybe not a little tired, but maybe a little bit tired. This has been a tough fight, and he is trying to sort of counter and press Spence and change the momentum right here, but there's 30 seconds left. I don't know if it's enough. Both guys going for broke right here on the inside. Oh, landing combination and going for blow. Body shots, head shots, mixing it up. Oh,
I like it. Spence got him on the ropes. I like that. Oh, but then he lets him spin right out.
Yeah, I told you that.
Well, I'm a minute behind, bro. Trying to keep up. Come on, internet. Nah.
Good jab from Shawn Porter. But fight is about to end. Fight is over. 10-9 round for Errol Spence to close out the fight, potentially saving this fight for him, honestly. The 10-8 round in round 11, 10-9 round in round 12, those might have been pivotal rounds to win. Santiago, please tally up the scorecards for me, yourself, and Fugai when Fugatti announces his final score for the 12th round. Post in the chat. I know you're in the movie theater right now, so I don't want to go to you because obviously you're at the movie theater. So please, if you can, tie that up. But wow. Thoughts on this fight? I mean, both guys did amazing. Both guys are hugging each other right now. Errol Spence hugging Shawn and Ken Porter. Sign of a lot of sportsmanship right now between the two camps. I like that. It's just a fantastic fight. I mean, Shawn Porter, a very vintage Shawn Porter fight with some added wrinkles over the years that he has sort of gained.
That's a hell of a fight.
Santiago, I have it 115.
10-9, 12 round.
Hold on.
12
Santiago, you're
round,
saying I have it.
10-9.
Hold on, please. Fu, I'm trying to talk. Santiago, you're saying that I have it for Spence? Please clarify. 115, 112 is my scorecard. I want to make it more clear who I have it for because he then went on to talk by himself. Santiago. It's not clear who I picked one there. All right, Spence. I actually ended up having Spence win the fight slowly, but surely at the end there, he ended up winning. I'm assuming Fugatti had it a little more wide by a round or two for Errol Spence, just from recollection of our scoring. Thoughts on the fight before we get the judges' scorecard? Obviously, there could be something happen here. We might get a draw. We might get a Porter decision. It's possible. I don't think it's likely at this point in time. But thoughts on the fight before we get this decision? Fu.
Thoroughly impressed with Shawn Porter. Thinking Spence has a lot of question marks around him after the last two fights. I think a lot of people are going to, even more people now will probably think Crawford would beat Spence in a fight. So
Absolutely. Guaranteed.
Definitely leaving some questions to be answered.
A fantastic welterweight title fight. I don't know if it's a fight of the year contender, but maybe like an honorable mention for sure at the end of the year. But high action, high level boxing on display, and a competitive close fight between two top 5 guys in the division who are champions. I mean, what more can you ask for? Clearly, obviously, there's going to be narratives about the Crawford fight going forward, about how it's maybe easier for Crawford now, more so than it was just 6 months ago in people's minds. But I think that somewhat takes away from how good of a fight this was, and I want to sort of highlight that a little bit more. Fantastic fight. And again, Shawn Porter being that guy that's just around. Like, he is going to be a top 5 guy that is going to be there till he retires, probably. Honestly. Might collect a belt here and there, and he's going to give everyone their toughest fight. But scorecards are being read right now.
Yep.
Split decision. 116. 111. Errol Spence. 115. 112. Shawn Porter. Final scorecard. 116, 111. Errol Spence.
He is now the WBC and the IBF welterweight unified champion of the world,
Errol Spence. Yep. As rightly probably deserved, in my opinion. He edged it very narrowly at the end there. Again, guys, call in 323-8704-051. Press 1 to get in the queue. We're going to give our thoughts on the main event, briefly go down the rest of the card, take your calls, and then head on out of here. But Spence struggled in this fight. I mean, again, parts of this fight were largely dictated who was going forward, who was being the aggressor, who was dictating the pace, who was controlling the range. Whoever was doing that checklist in the round was winning the round most of the time. However, I think some of us thought, most of us thought, Spence's power was enough of a marginal factor above Porter that it would play a factor in this fight. And Porter would go down at least once. And he did. And that was a fight-changing knockdown at a crucial time in the fight as well. Spence closed out the fight with the final round, winning that quite effectively and dominant as well. So I think Spence, while obviously struggling significantly in this fight, he did make the adjustments at the very end, and that clearly saved him the decision in this bout because Shawn Porter was on his way to just continuing to maul and pressure Spence and get the better of it, but Spence was able to sort of wrestle that control back in his hands. Amazing fight, great fight, fun dynamic between the two in terms of how the styles clashed in the ring as well, from a pure aesthetic perspective. Cannot wait to see what's next with both guys. And again, Terrence Bud Crawford is the fucking truth.
Yeah, I mean, I think the questions that I had or the concerns I had about Errol Spence still remain. Like, he's not that great off his back foot. He's not a lateral moving fighter. He needs to be really able to stalk someone.
Or at least not to the degree that I think he needs to be to beat certain people.
Correct.
Honestly.
The very top guys that can do what Porter did, spin him around, get him up against the ropes, take advantage of him shelling up. Like, that's going to be tough for him against, a Crawford, Thurman, even a Manny Pacquiao, even an old Manny Pacquiao is going to do enough volume punching to keep Spence questioning himself enough to give Pacquiao moments to shine. Right. So,
Danny Garcia in the ring.
Oh, they're going to do a pay-per-view with Garcia, huh?
Fox. It is his next opponent. Wow. Wow. Errol Spence, Danny Garcia announced. It's official already. They just announced it. Fu, thoughts on Errol Spence, Danny Garcia being official right in the ring right after the fight? Thoughts on obviously the matchup itself and the timing of the announcement?
I mean, that's pretty fantastic. I think that's a big move by PBC. I mean, to put all these guys against each other, that's really going to give, that's going to put some pressure on, Bob and Terrence Crawford, because
to get creative with
these fights are happening, right? These fights are happening, and that's just going to keep growing the profile of all of the guys on the other side of the street. So, thoughts on the matchup? Danny's a better matchup than Shawn Porter for Errol Spence.
Better in what way? Like an easier fight for Spence?
Not as much of a volume puncher, not as much of a mover. Like Spence is going to
be a little more stationary.
Better moments. His punches will be more accurate. He won't be moving backwards as much. But Danny has power. So, Spence is going to have to, he can't take the shots he took in this fight.
Agreed. You have to go for a second. Be right back, Fu.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay. I'll give my thoughts. Don't worry about it. I'll give my thoughts on the fight briefly. But first off, I gotta say, shout out to Shawn Porter, man. I just want to keep that on the highlight. Shawn Porter did great, and I feel like a lot of people give him a lot of shade when it's not deserved. However, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, I agree with Fu. I think it's a far easier matchup for Errol Spence than Shawn Porter. A guy that doesn't throw as much volume, not as aggressive, not really. Shawn Porter likes to control you. He likes to dominate you on the inside. Spence likes to have control of the range and control of the tempo. That's going to clash and create an issue and some conflict in the ring. Danny never really cares about being in control. He's fine being sort of the reactive dance partner in the ring. And I think that's going to play into the hands of Errol Spence fantastically. I think Spence is going to be able to tee off when he wants. Probably even get a finish maybe against Danny Garcia. sometime late in the fight. But regardless, it should be a really fun matchup. And like Fu said, just the reality is, like, there's this cottage industry of the welterweight division over there on the PBC side that can completely sustain itself without Terrence Crawford, at least for the foreseeable future. And that means Bob Arum, Top Rank, ESPN, and Terrence Crawford have to get really creative for their matchups because guys like Kavalauskas isn't going to sell it long term. When your biggest divisional rival is fighting Shawn Porter, Danny Garcia, maybe Manny Pacquiao, maybe a Keith Thurman, you can't compete with that. How can you? It's impossible. But digressing, Gary, I see you in the queue. We're going to get to you soon. We're going to talk about the co-main event and some of the undercard fights, and then get to you, Gary. I hope that's okay. Call in, guys, 323-870-4051. Press 1 to get in the queue. International callers, Skype in, Mixed Combat Radio on Skype. I know it's late, so we're going to try to run through the undercard as fast as possible. We're going to come back tomorrow with our full show breaking down the entire card with Rob. But digressing to the co-main event, David Benavidez defeats Anthony Durrell. Fu, thoughts on the performance of David Benavidez and what it means for him in terms of divisional hierarchy?
I think so obviously Benavidez is top 3 or 4, right? And you could put him in any order. Like,
yes.
I'm not going to be mad how you place 168 because if Plant, Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Benavidez, those 4 guys, I think top.
You can mix them up in any sort of order.
You can mix it any way you want, however you want to put them. He did not show any want to get in there and end that fight. He was just very much, however the fight went, he was comfortable with because he knew he was winning and he knew Durrell really didn't have much of a chance against him. So there were moments where if he would have pressed, I think he could have ended the fight. I mean, especially once the cut happened. I think they went like 3 more rounds after the cut happened. I mean, it should not have happened. Most likely he could have ended it the next round. So realistically, Benavidez against those other guys is going to have to come with a whole different energy, and a whole different willingness to go for the win versus just playing around with his food, which, there's like we said, Durrell's a tough guy. I'm not at all saying anything about Durrell as a competitor, but Benavidez is a different level, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Benavidez should show a different level.
Yes.
And
he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think guys that are big Caleb Plant fans, for example, are going to look at that and go, ooh, he's going to be able to outbox David Benavidez for significant portions of rounds and significant portions of a fight. I think the Callum Smith fans maybe should still sit down a little bit in this conversation from a stylistic perspective. I think Benavidez still beats Callum Smith. But digressing, I agree with your assessment of the fight. I think Benavidez was content walking forward. But then again, we've talked about this off air before this show started, where me and Fu were just watching the co-main event. Benavidez has very literal lateral movement. He can't really cut off the ring. He doesn't pick an angle and go to that angle to cut you off and throw shots to cut you off as well. He just fails at those tactics and technique in a boxing fight 9 times out of 10. And against certain guys like a Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, you can't do that. You can't have issues cutting off the ring. You can't have issues picking angles and creating angles. You can't. Benavidez does his best work when he has you press up against the ropes and he can throw combinations. And that is a very limited window of the fight, and you need to expand that window. But Benavidez, in terms of power, in terms of, I think, durability, and on top of that, he is crafty in what he does. He just is limited in what he wants to achieve and how he wants to achieve it. He doesn't have 5 different game plans that he sort of rotates. He has one thing he wants to do and one thing only. He's quite effective and crafty at it, but it's still one thing. And guys like Billy Joe and Caleb Plant are able to probably find other avenues around that one thing that he does quite well and should be able to outbox him. at this point in time.
Yeah, I couldn't see Benavidez at the moment beating Caleb Plant or Billy Joe Saunders. Saunders is more of a question mark because you never know how he's going to come into the ring. You never know if you're going to get Saunders versus Lemieux or if you're going to get Saunders versus what was a really bad fight. I'm trying to go back in the catalog here a little bit, but the fight right before Monroe Jr., right?
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of a trash fight for Billy Joe Saunders, I think.
Yep.
So you just never know with Saunders, but you know what you're going to get from Caleb Plant pretty much every fight. And I think I would pick Caleb Plant at this moment to beat Benavidez.
Agreed. I think we're in full agreement here. Moving on, Mario Barrios picking up a narrow win against Batur Akhmedov, and probably only won it via that knockdown in the final round. Similar sort of actual stylistic analogy to the main event in Spence Porter. Akhmedov was pressing him, throwing combinations, volume. Barrios was landing inside the combinations quite often, but was losing rounds and in the process getting beat up. Barrios' face at the end of the fight was completely like egg shape and swollen. It was horrific to see. And for a guy that is fighting, an undefeated prospect that is slightly of note, it's still a prospect that doesn't really have a deep amateur pedigree, to be quite honest. So from a guy that is, in a way, a blue chip prospect in Mario Barrios, you expect more. In the same sort of vein as Spence and Porter of, look, if you are dominant in that win, it shows that you are separating yourself from the pack at the top of 147. Barrios needs to fight these level of opponents and beat them convincingly for me to go, yes, he is far and away above this level of the pack and ready for the top level. Because he hasn't shown me that yet. And honestly, there's a lot of fights you go back and Mario Barrios is just competitive in. He wins, maybe even clearly wins, but he's still competitive in and his opponent's competitive in. And this is a level of opponents that if you're that good, they should not be competitive with you. They should not be making your face that swollen. Massive red flag there in this fight with Mario Barrios. Fu, I know you were working and you got home late for this fight. I don't think you caught this one, if I'm correct.
No, but from what I saw, like the last probably like 4 rounds, the thing that we talked about a little bit is Barrios doesn't have the pop that he really needs. And I think he's still struggling to be a 140 fighter. Mm-hmm. So, he can't go up to 147 because those guys are going to destroy him. And if he looks like he did tonight in the rounds that I saw, I need to go back and watch the whole thing. So I'm kind of shooting from the hip here, but don't at me. But I just don't think he's what he is being sold as. No. I think there's a big disparity in what people believe about him and what he's really showing, and he needs to step it up. Because you can't say that about like a Devin Haney or, like even a Luke Campbell.
Corey Stevenson.
I mean, Stevenson, these guys are putting on a display every time they get in the ring, and it's like, well, what level are they really at? Because they're just styling on everybody, and then you see it with Luke Campbell. He got in the ring with Loma, and you're like, well, maybe he's not at that level. What level is he on? But with Barrios, it's like that's a guy that he should have styled on. Not saying that that's a good step up in competition, but at the same time, like people are talking about he can compete at 140 with the top people, and it's like not at all. Not at all. I mean, I couldn't imagine him in the ring with Josh Taylor or
even guys like Branchik, Kaylee Raylick, like those guys would really give Barrios issues. But moving on, just for the sake of time, it's late, and I do want to get to callers. Again, numbers right there below on the screen, 323-870-4051. Press 1 to get in the queue. Josita Lopez defeated John Molina Jr. via TKO late, and I got to say, it was a fun fight. Obviously, what you expect from two older guys that are sluggers and sort of just brawlers, completely as expected. And also, Robert Guerrero fought, but don't watch that fight. It's not worth your time. Robert Guerrero should not be fighting in 2019. Just want to be honest with that. Joey Spencer picked up a much-needed KO win. He has not been looking good recently. And that's about it for the undercard, guys. Let's get to callers. And again, number below on the screen. Gary in Dallas. Obviously a gigantic Spence and Mario Barrios fan. Curious his takes on those two fights. Gary.
I aged about 20 years watching those two fights tonight. Man.
Damn, so you look like the crypt keeper from Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, Gary, you can't age anymore, man. You might die.
I'm not as old as Fu.
What?
Gary.
Man. Yeah. I thought Porter won the fight. It was too close to really call. I had it for Porter on my scorecard. It's fine if it went like 114, 113 for Spence. But to say Porter won 4 rounds in that fight is totally to discredit everything he did. And 2 of the 3 judges only gave Porter 4 rounds.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's not a good score. I'm not going to say it's corrupt or that's really bad.
Yeah.
That's just a bad scorecard.
It's like Fu's scorecard. It's just not good.
It's like Marco Villagras's scorecard. He's the worst.
Villegas.
Judge, isn't he?
Villegas.
Terrible.
Villegas.
Yeah. He's terrible. It was, that was a really tough fight to score. I had it all coming down to the last round, and then the last round was too close to call. That was a great fight. I mean, that's probably the fight of the year. Yeah, it was a great night of boxing, all the cards. I didn't really get to enjoy the co-main event, the Benavidez fight, because I was still amped up from the Barrios fight.
You were still all sweaty.
You thought your boy lost, huh?
That was like watching a best of 7 series where your team takes a 3-0 lead, and then they have to come back in Game 7 to win. It's like, what just happened here? This looked like a breeze. He was the first 4 or 5 rounds of that fight. He was boxing beautifully, and then all of a sudden, a switch went off, and he was zapped of all of his energy.
Well, Gary, do you think it's that he was zapped of all his energy, or that his opponent finally felt like, man, this guy can't really hurt me, so I can come forward?
And the body shots, man.
Well,
you have to. Hey, Akhmedov is going to the body.
It probably had a lot to do with the body shots. Phil, could you imagine how good you would think Barrios was if he wasn't with PBC? Or you would think he was just the bee's knees.
Get out of here. You ain't talking to Robbie Hearns, bro.
Oh, you'd love him.
You ain't talking to Robbie Hearns.
If Eddie Hearn was sitting ringside, oh, you'd love him right now.
You ain't talking to Robbie Hearns,
yeah,
bro.
I'll be honest here. To Fu's credit, you're not talking to Rob. You're talking to Fu.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. If he wasn't with PBC, though, you would love him. You would.
I would say the same things.
I don't know about that, Gary.
He has no power, but twice he knocked him down with 1 shot. I don't really follow that. So help me out. Twice he dropped him with 1 shot.
Okay.
Including totally fatigued in the last round.
You think those flash knockdowns were representative of him having knockout power?
Okay. I think he has respectable power where if you walk into his shots, yeah.
You think he has respectable power? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Barrios?
I don't see
He had 8 straight knockouts before this fight. He knocked out the last guy in 2 rounds, which took Prograis 7 or 8 rounds to knock him out. Velasco. So I don't get how he has no power, like he's Paulie Malignaggi or something, or Josh Kelly. It's like, no, he's got respectable power.
Yeah, and you're probably more right about that. But
no, I don't know about that. I mean, look, who the fuck is Velasco, bro? Like, you bring up names like, oh, Regis Prograis lasted more rounds, so? Like, who cares?
I don't think Prograis is a big puncher either, though.
Exactly.
Contender when he's... No one's any good. I get it.
It's not that no one's any good, Gary.
No.
But come on, Mario Barrios has beaten who? How good has he beaten them? It doesn't add up.
And here's what it comes down to.
Gary, you were on this call. You were on this show how many times talking about Mario Barrios, guys like Tanahara, all these guys, how they're going to be the best thing since sliced fucking bread. How can you tell me that after this fight? You can't.
Okay, if you go back and listen to the last show, I said that this is a tough matchup for Barrios. It's one of those fights. Just win and survive. Worry about looking good next time. Just win the fight and move on to the next one. Because stylistically, this is.
So you think this is a blip in the radar? You don't think you think that he's been smooth sailing his entire career, which he hasn't, and on top of that, this is just a blip in the radar, and he is perfect. He's fine. He's gonna be good to go the next fight. He's gonna look like he's the Terminator. Honestly?
Well, do I think he's going to beat Prograis in his next fight?
I didn't say that. I didn't say. Did I ask you if he's gonna beat Prograis? No.
Well, the Terminator would beat Prograis. Probably.
Okay,
Maybe.
Gary,
Right?
let me rephrase my question so you don't be like snide and snarky about these like semantic remarks, okay? Do you legitimately think Mario Barrios is ready for top 10 competition after this fight?
40 is tough now. It's the three names. He probably wouldn't be any of the three names at the top. Taylor, Ramirez,
I didn't say the three names.
Prograis.
I said top 10. I include the entire top 10.
Yeah, absolutely top 10. Anyone besides those top three.
Really? So like Branchik, Raylick, those guys he beats? When Akhmedov, a guy that never went to the Olympics, never won a national amateur championship.
Akhmedov went to the Olympics. He lost in the quarterfinals.
Who am I thinking of then?
For Turkey.
Who am I thinking of on this card then that didn't go to the Olympics, was undefeated? Anyways. Even if I better beef in the Olympics, what are you talking about?
I said he lost in the quarterfinals.
Oh, I thought you said he lost in the quarterfinals to better beef.
No, that would be.
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's impossible.
No, he lost in the quarterfinals.
I would like to clarify one thing, Gary. Me saying that someone doesn't have power isn't me saying that they're dog shit or they're not good. But not having power, it is a harder fight to win because your margin of error becomes so slight. Like, because you're going to come up against a puncher that eventually is going to give you problems. And that's the thing that I would see with, like, you put Barrios in with anyone who has real power, and is he going to be able to fight for 12 rounds dominantly enough not to get knocked down or stopped? That's my question.
Again, Gary, you think he beats guys like Branchik and Kaylee Raylick? Really?
You picked him to beat Branchik like 3 days ago.
Yeah, but then he had this
2
fight.
days ago.
I thought he was going to have a much easier fight. He didn't. I've never been high on Akhmedov.
I didn't think it would be this close, but I didn't think it would be an easy night. Like, I thought it would be an ugly win. Like,
Okay. You keep talking about this fight. I'm talking about next, Gary. Do you think he beats Branchik or Raylick? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question, Gary.
I think he beats. Yes. I think he beats everyone except for the top three guys.
Okay. I don't know how you see that, man.
Okay.
I don't know how you see it.
Can we talk? Okay, I don't know how he has no power when he knocked this guy down twice with one shot.
Dude, he knocked down this guy with one shot, but it was a flash knockdown, bro. Like Adrian, hold on. Adrian fucking Broner flash knocked down Shawn Porter. That means nothing, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
Adrian Broner's got power. Adrian Broner's not feather-fisted. Like, when you say he does, would you say Shawn Porter has power?
No.
I mean, okay, then why couldn't Spence just walk right through him then? He doesn't have, like, sensational one-punch knockout power, but you're not going to walk right through his shots. And that's
Gary.
Of opinion.
Gary.
Yeah.
If you're not knocking out the top guys, you don't have power, in my opinion, at the top level. Point blank and simple. Keith Thurman does not have power at the top level to knock out guys. Okay? Deontay Wilder clearly has power to knock out guys at the top level. You understand the difference?
I think we have when you say power, you're talking about knockout power. When I say power, I'm saying you can't just walk right through
Gary. Okay, if the point of power is to knock out someone and hurt them, and you can't hurt someone, then yes, it's an issue. And let's be honest, Gary, if you didn't get that flash knockdown at the very last round, he would have lost, even with the flash knockdown early. Okay?
Well, not according to the scorecard. I mean, maybe on your card, but not the official cards.
Okay, but yeah, you just had issues with the official scorecards in the other fight, and now you're okay with the official scorecards in this fight?
No, I'm saying if you would have,
You got to pick a side here, buddy.
If he had, no. Had he not scored the knockdown in the last round, he still would have won the fight officially.
Cool, not in my scorecard.
That's understandable.
Not on my scorecard.
It was very reasonable to have that fight even or close to even going in the last round. I'm not saying it's not.
Cool.
And he needed to at least win the last round. And the knockout, I thought, knockdown put him over the top. I thought it was, okay, he clearly won the fight now. But
if you're going to life and death with that guy, you're not going to be beating people.
I mean, read off the names that Mario Barrios has beaten in this epic knockout streak, okay? Juan Velasquez, Richard Zamora, Jose Roman, Eddie Bernardo, Naam Nelson, Jose Rodriguez, Yardley Cruz, Claudio Tapia, Dave. Oh no, that was unanimous decision, and then we have unanimous decision, OKO, unanimous decision. Okay, he has beaten no one. He has not looked great in any of these fights against no one. It is impossible to say Mario Barrios is going to be competitive in the top 10 because he hasn't fought anyone close to the top 10. And on top of that, he has looked rather poor in a lot of these fights. He looks basic. He doesn't look like a guy that has any extra oomph. And that doesn't mean just power.
So the first 4 rounds, his movement, his head movement, his flipping, his using his... You weren't impressed with him in the first 4 rounds of that fight.
I was impressed, but then it didn't work after that. And guess what, Gary? If it doesn't work... Hold on. Gary, if it doesn't work against Batsur Akhmadov, okay, a guy that is 7-0, all right, did nothing in the Olympics, lost in the first round, come on, man. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when you fight those top 10 guys that are actually legit world-level fighters? How are you going to adapt to that? You couldn't adapt to fucking Akhmadov. You're going to tell me you're going to adapt to Raylik, Baranchik, let alone Prograis, Taylor, Hooker, Ramirez. Like,
Hooker's gone, though. Hooker
okay, awesome.
Hooker's
He's gone. He's gone. Doesn't matter. Yes, Gary?
Did Hooker look so good coming all the way up before Hooker fought Terry Flanagan? Did he look sensational, or did he have tough fights too?
Absolutely.
No, he was always known as
hold on. Absolutely had tough fights. But let's be honest, Gary. He fought far better competition on the come up than fucking Mario Barrios.
That's true.
What are you fucking talking about, man? He fought Darlis Perez. Okay, on an undercard of the Andre Ward card. Was it Darlis Perez?
He fought Abel Ramos. He fought names. He fought,
Yeah, don't compare the two. Yeah. Maurice Hooker looked bad against top 15 opponents when he was a young pup in green. Mario Barrios has had 25 fights against nobody, and he still doesn't look like he's the goods.
Okay, you're not wrong. I mean, that was not a great performance. I agree. And again, he's not going to be a guy that scores sensational knockouts. He's not going to be a box office star. Stylistically, that's not his style, right? He's a guy who's going to have to stay at range. He's going to have to use his jab, and he's going to have to make you miss.
But even that, Gary, he's not that great in. You look at guys like Shakur Stevenson. He's able to dominate in that department, and he will last 10, 12 rounds and dominate you doing that. Barrios can't. He doesn't have the athleticism. He doesn't have the speed. Doesn't really have the defensive work, I think, long-term, or maybe just more of the fact that he's not fast enough for his technique to really work in a way. And guys are faster to the draw than him, that have better cardio than him, more athletic, are going to constantly give him issues. You add in top-level athletes or top-level boxers, they wash him right now.
In every level you step up in competition, your margin of error gets slimmer and slimmer. And when you don't have, not that he doesn't have any power, I'm not saying that, but he doesn't have that like Josh Taylor power. Or,
I'll put it this way: you look at certain guys on the come up fighting certain level of opposition, and look how they washed them.
Yeah.
Mario Barrios doesn't really wash guys. He struggles to get that finish. And it would be a corner stoppage, a TKO stoppage, because the ref is like, okay, this guy that you're fighting that's a cab driver hasn't thrown a punch in 4 rounds. Like, we're just stop the fight here. It's not the same.
What were you going to say about Postal and Taylor?
Postal's a PBC guy, right? Let's do that next. Let's have him fight Postal.
I don't know if he's technically. I don't know if he's technically a PBC fight. I know his last fight was a PBC fight. It was on the Robert Easter Francis Bartholomew card. I would be down with that fight, but I'll tell you this: I think Victor Postal wins.
Let's do that.
Barrios would take his first L. Postal gave Taylor a fucking tough fight. Barrios would take his first L for sure.
Okay, let's do
that
fight.
version. Well, I'll say
Let's
this addendum.
Version. And I'll be honest, man. Like, that's the fight you want next. Mario Barrios just went life and death with Akhmadov, and you want to throw him in there with Postal? Dude, you need to ease him in there.
But here's the great thing about boxing, right? Is that you're only as good as your last fight.
Is he 25 years old anymore? He's not really a prospect. You call him a prospect. He's not really a prospect anymore.
He is a prospect.
You get to the point where this is, I mean, you're right, because his competition hasn't been great. But he's 25 now. He's not a kid anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's time to see what you have.
Yeah, but
obviously, I can't say the level of competition sport is great.
I don't know.
Now.
I don't know if Victor Postal's the one guy you go after in the 140-pound division, because like he's arguably like a top 5 fucking name, man. Like go after like a guy that like an Edward Tarnowski or someone like that, someone that had a belt that we vaguely know, you know, but it's kind of an easy fight for you still. Like that's who you want to go after first. Like you want to throw him in after he had his face rearranged, bro. You want that Barrios to then go and fight Victor Postal? Man, you must hate him. You're not a fan.
Do I ever say my Texas guys should take easy fights? I just said that
he should.
Fight Danny Jacobs.
He had his face rearranged.
I never said it was. Jeez.
What? Okay. I mean, come on. That swelling was nasty at the end.
But you're only as good as your last fight. He could come out in his next fight, look absolutely fantastic, and then people will be talking about him in a
But if his next fight's against Johnny and nobody gives a fuck, then who cares?
People will still, if it's a good knockout, people will still say it.
That's why you should fight Postal. Unless he can get the Broner fight. If he can get the Broner fight, you should be up on Broner. If not, then you should go fight.
Adrian Broner beats Mario Barrios. You know why? Just like you said, Broner has power. Barrios doesn't.
Oh, man. Flipped it on him. Hey, Gary, let's get one last thing in. What did you think about the Benavidez-Durrell fight?
I got to go back and watch. I was too hyped up. Like I was like, I didn't think Benavidez was good. I don't think that he would do well against Billy Joe. Definitely not Caleb Plant or Caleb Smith. I don't think he would do particularly well against any of those guys. I think like we got a little too hyped up because that kid's still only 22, right? And he hasn't fought in like 2 years really, besides one round. I think we may have got a little ahead of ourselves with David Benavidez. He's good, but I don't think he would do particularly well against any of the top 3 names at 68.
He beat Callum Smith.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. But thank you for the call, Gary. Always appreciate it. I'm sorry, we do have to run, though. We have more callers, and we went on for like 20 minutes arguing about Mario Barrios. As expected. I knew that was going to happen.
One of the littlest like names on the card, but
it's okay, Gary. That just shows that you're hardcore. Santiago and 509. Press 1 to get in the queue. 509. Santiago, what's up?
Not much. Typical Gary fashion. I had enough time to say bye to JP, drop off her home, and get back home before I actually got my chance at the call. So kudos to Gary. It was definitely a hell of a fight, and a good crowd showed up at the theater. Not sellout or anything noteworthy, but a good crowd. And I got to say, I definitely agree with you that I don't think I'd consider that fight of the year. But definitely would be one of those that you would consider an honorable mention. That was a hell of a fight. Both guys really brought it to each other. Both guys showed exactly what they were capable of. And, early on, I saw Porter possibly, coming away with, taking the fight. And next thing you know, Spence just starts fighting back, starts catching him with those accurate shots. And before you know it, he gets him with a massive left hook right on the side of the chin, and it puts him down. And really, that's probably what sealed it for him at that point, because as you saw, I ended up having it 5-4-3 even for Spence. It was a really, really, really close fight in my books.
Agreed on all parts. Santiago, anything else you want to talk about? Darrell, Benavidez, Mario Barrios.
Definitely surprised to see how the Darrell Benavidez fight went. I didn't expect him to be as slick as he was. Good with the movement. Definitely gave Benavidez a lot of trouble. I definitely think that some things definitely need to be worked on for Benavidez, because Caleb Plant's a much better boxer than that. I could easily see him trying to take advantage of that, because a guy that can keep up the volume with the lateral movement is going to definitely pose a lot of problems for a guy like David Benavidez, if this is what we're seeing right now, with a guy that was more or less just content with making him slip and slide and just have a little fun in there. Mario Barrios and his fight, that shit was putting me to sleep, man. And I have to say that I wasn't impressed with what he showed. I definitely thought that there was a good case for a draw. I had it 113 after the fact. So right now, Mario Barrios for me is in a kind of limbo where it's like either you start showing us that you can actually improve as a fighter, or you've officially reached your ceiling at this point. He is what we expect of someone that wins that WBA title belt, if you ask me. And Lopez Molina, man, Lopez looked like a bruiser in there against a guy like Molina. He put him down fast and hard, and I'm glad they stopped the fight. Molina should definitely consider, calling it a career at this point, because you may still have that power, but that power is so far in between a lot of the shots he throws nowadays, especially if a guy like Lopez can get your timing down and just beat you to the punch. And that's pretty much my take on the fights of tonight's main card.
Thank you for the call, Santiago. Brief point I want to make, because I already see PBC Twitter going on to the spin zone when it comes to Spence Garcia. Look, if you want to argue that like Spence Garcia is a viable fight in the marketplace, that's one thing, right? In terms of like it makes money, like it will be a fine fight, it will be a fun fight. That's a different argument. If you want to argue that fight is a better fight, or a fight that should happen next over Crawford or Pacquiao, then you really don't have a valid opinion, to be honest. And please don't call into the show if you have that opinion, because I'll just yell and shit on you because you're stupid. And to have the opinion that you'd rather see Spence Garcia over Spence Crawford or Spence Pacquiao is just such an asinine take that I can't believe people online are actually propagating that talking point and narrative. Absolutely sickening. Going out to the 509 area code, 509. Who is this? Where are you calling from?
Yo, there's a coup.
What up, Aku? What up, Aku? How you doing, man?
What
up? What up?
I'm one of those. What up? Yo, I'm one of those guys who thinks Danny versus Spence is a good fight.
No, it's fine to think it's a good fight. No. It's fine to think it's a good fight, because it is a good fight. But to say that you want that fight over Spence Crawford or Spence Pacquiao doesn't make sense to me.
Oh yeah, no, not over. Definitely not over Bud.
Yeah, that's my point. That's my distinction I want to make very clear. Spence Garcia is a good fight, but there's no way you can argue it's better than Spence Crawford or Spence Pacquiao.
Yeah, Pacquiao. I wouldn't want Pacquiao to take that fight against Spence. I don't think it's a good matchup for Pacquiao.
Okay.
But I'm fired up. That fight was I think it's top 5 fight of the year.
Oh, easy.
That was just an amazing fight. I had it 6-6. But with the knockdown, I gave it a Spence by a point. was just a great fight. Awesome fight.
Agreed.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think Danny has a chance against Spence?
No, if I'll be honest, if I thought there was one like dark horse in the division to beat Spence, it would have been Porter, and he almost did. It's not Danny. I think Danny is more of the weaker link of the top of the welterweight division, to be quite honest. For reasons we mentioned, his lack of lateral movement, his susceptibility to get hit with shots, his lack of game planning for fights. Those are big issues for a fight like Errol Spence.
I honestly think that a more active Keith Thurman would beat Errol Spence. I know that's not going to be everyone's going to be like freaked out by that or think it's crazy, but to me, Thurman's movement would beat Spence. You know, like if they had fought when Spence was first calling him out, right? Like I think
like in 2017
would have beat him. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys surprised? Are you guys surprised that Danny actually took the fight?
Not really, because he hasn't been doing anything for a while now, and you can sort of tell that he's been waiting for a big fight.
Why though?
You can tell that either Pacquiao was on the line, Spence obviously was on the line to some degree, Mike was on the line. He's been waiting for a big fight. I'm not shocked that he's going to take it. You know, he's coming off a huge knockout win this year. I think he wants to get titles back, and plus it's a big money fight. And if the Pacquiao fight's not open for you, the next best thing is Errol Spence.
Yeah, definitely. Dude, I need Bud to get to PBC already. Like he needs to start fighting those. They're having great fights over there, and he's by himself over there in ESPN. Like he needs to get as soon as possible over there.
I know, it's sad.
They're having huge fights. They all fought. They're like basically with Danny and Spence fighting. They basically all fought each other.
Yeah, they're basically running a welterweight
round robin tournament.
Yeah. And Crawford's just sitting on the sidelines. Similar to like, didn't that happen to was it Ward at one point, or so? Who was it that there was like a big tournament and they didn't join it?
No, it wasn't. Ward was in the tournament. Who were you thinking of?
Who was that?
I think you're thinking of Lucian Butte.
Yeah, maybe that
I think
was
it was
it.
Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez with the 140 division.
Well, that's
that
another
happened
one
too, yeah. But
that was more by choice, unfortunately.
that played out in his favor, I think, for right now at least.
Yeah, and yeah, man. Hey, shout out to Porter though. Like Porter showed, man, this guy has huge balls. When he got knocked down, he gets right back up. He's like, let's go, and then he just starts swinging. That was amazing. That fired me up right there. That was crazy.
It was a great fight.
This is a hell of a fight.
I'm gonna admit it here in front of everyone that I underrated Porter.
Yes.
90 seconds.
Oh, same, definitely same.
Gunshots for all of you people that hate on Shawn Porter.
I didn't hate, but I just didn't think he was this good. I thought he was going to get stopped.
92. Anything else, man? We got to run, unfortunately.
No, that was it. That was just a great fight. Good chat. Great talk. Thanks for taking my call. That was pretty cool.
Anytime, 92. Anytime. And obviously, thanks for being a long-time listener and chatter in the live chat. Always love the interaction there. But guys, that's going to be it for tonight for our post-fight show, wrap-up, and live fight chat and media reaction to Errol Spence, Shawn Porter, live on Fox pay-per-view. Hope you guys enjoy the fights as much as we did, because it was fantastic. And I got to agree with 92. Top 5-ish fight of the year. It's around there for me, absolutely. TJ Doheny, Daniel Roman still up there heavy for me. Sergey Lipinets, Lamont Peterson still up there high for me, to be honest. I know that might be not a popular pick. Even fights like Ruiz Joshua for the dramatic sort of finality to it. It's definitely up there as well. But digressing, I am Matt, the Hipster Hunter. Find me, Matt Hunter, MCR, all platform. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe, patreon.com/Mixed Combat Radio. Foo, let people know where to find you.
Fugatti MCR, all platforms. Thanks for being here, guys. We really appreciate it. And, props to boxing. That was a great fight.
Yes, we'll be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, with a regular full panel show. Join us there live on YouTube, podcast forum, iTunes, Spotify, radio, etc. and have a great, wonderful night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. Peace.